doesn't attack for a second, and
That's
come
pretty
on,
silly in
come
my
on, come
opinion.
on, Flint Love. I mean, is Flint gonna be the new carrier or what?
I don't know. He's still really easy to kill.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
I mean, if he goes Invis, there's nowhere else he's gonna go. You know that he's gonna be in the same spot, so it's kind of pointless. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I still feel like he's pretty low in the priority list.
All right. All right. So probably not gonna see it here, is what you're saying.
No, probably not.
Fair enough. Back over to Complexion now for their pick. Swiftblade and Prisoner to finish it off. So they do ban Prisoner
Yeah,
with their
it's
final
good for
ban.
them.
And indeed is. Yeah, not taken up with the... That's the thing. If it's not picked up in the first three from Complexity, you probably really should ban it. Now, I will say, they have a Magnus already, so the chances of them getting Prisoner might have been pretty low, but it's still possible.
I don't know. The two heroes together creates for a pretty good combo. Like Magnus is a line stunner and Prisoner is a line hooker. So I mean, there's some synergy right there.
I guess with the
And
lanes, though, would be... I guess Suicide Magnus could work.
yeah, I mean, they run that pretty often, no? Oscar plays Suicide Magnus quite often.
Yeah, I feel like it's died out lately, but you're right. I mean, it does have history, and yeah, Oscar has been or has played in the past. So
Yeah. I think we saw Fussyslot playing Magnus yesterday. I can't recall him versus who, but I recall him doing very well. Like out-farming everyone in the game and something like that. I can't recall versus who.
that was Fuzzy yesterday, I think, versus
Yeah, that's
Evil
what it was.
Corporation. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, that might be a remake of that here. Yeah, seems like it's going to be since they picked up the Pharaoh.
all right.
Probably going to be in the Suicide lane, but I'm kind of curious about that because Pharaoh is fairly easy to box out, and you talk about good like supports to box people out. Torture is very good at that, so I think they're kind of suiciding right here. I mean, goes without saying maybe, but I think Torture is definitely one of the better supports against Pharaoh, so a little bit curious about why they picked that.
Yeah. Well, I like him for a suicide here for whatever reason. So, maybe also to keep it out of the hands of X Sync. It is good against Tempest, so
Yeah, that might be a reason. I mean, I think Matthias plays a good Pharaoh. I think we've seen him play Pharaoh a lot. Can't recall for sure.
yeah. Him and
Yeah.
KZ, I mean, has history too when he was more of a suicide player for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
With this roster, I haven't seen him suicide too much, but he
No.
does it every now and then, though. So,
Yeah, he's more of the...
like the last
carry.
5 games I've seen him play, he's been playing the carry. So, I don't know about a Pharaoh carry. That would be silly.
Probably not a thing, yeah.
No.
Wow, they're using all the time here. Okay. They go with Behemoth in the end. So that's their 4th pickup. And still not sure exactly how they're planning to lane this.
I think it's going to be a lot similar, but they might do a lane. They seem to do a lane mid every single time they pick Pebbles, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that being done. I mean, they might solo lane Torture top because they picked it up so early, so Complexity might be thinking Torture support, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And they, in that case, they would pick up another support and do a lane Pebbles mid now and go really aggressive early. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Gladiator coming out.
Yeah.
Now,
He did get some changes.
yeah, he got some... I mean, his ulti was nerfed. His ulti was... and I think it's definitely acceptable. I mean, it was a powerful, powerful ultimate with a 10-second duration, so... But they... Now, I know that they run it as a carry, too, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Formless going to be playing it.
Yep.
So... All right.
I think
We'll
that's a pretty good option in this game, because considering they have 4 other like early game carries, I mean, I think Gladiator is a pretty early game carry as well, so I think it fits good with their lineup.
Yeah.
In this game right here, I'm just a bit worried about when Tempest uses the ultimate, like what damage they will have there. I mean, they obviously have Magnus ulti and the combination of like Gladiator spells, but I mean, that's like a dream setup. So I don't know. if they don't get the Dream setup, what damage will they provide in the Tempest ultimate?
Yeah.
And that's everything. Otherwise, I think it's a really good lineup. Both teams going very early game right there. There's no like true hard carry. I mean, Gladiator maybe, but yeah, both teams playing a lot of aggression here.
Yeah, much different than the last game for sure. You know, Dark Lady Magebane, this is a makeup at least of what should be a little more involved throughout this game earlier on. So look at X-Sync right here. All 5 of them in the Legion jungle to start. Roaming around.
Might ward some of the Tempest camps.
That's probably going to happen here. He has 2 ward sites on Torture. They have a Rev ward on Parasite as well, so he didn't go Boots first, so
no.
Expecting not to man up here.
That's the thing with the new Courier change, though, because before the Courier patch, I mean, it was kind of bad to build Chalice on a man-up Parasite. But now that you have your own Courier, you don't have to worry about your team, like, you know, occupying the Courier in the enemy jungle. So they might man up. They're going to find Tempest there, though. I don't think they're going to kill him.
No, just some good damage. Obviously, again, that impalement, especially if you're by yourself, it'll do some good damage to you, as we see there, but not enough. But yeah, no, it is going to be man up. You're right. The pseudo trial is coming out here.
I mean, I think he's going the items he is just because of the Courier change. If this was pre-patch, I wouldn't see him. Instant counterward coming out right there. They saw that.
Yeah, very well played.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice.
I would say this is reflecting on the Courier change right there from Parasite's items. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I think that's the reason he went those items.
You know, and that was brought up yesterday too by Screw. You know, he brought up the point, and that was so. I think that's one of those jungle buffs that was almost even overlooked to an extent. You don't necessarily think of that off the top of the bat. It's like the Courier change, but you're right. It's exactly. You don't have to worry about the 6-minute bottle mid or the
6-minute bottle.
Not a 6-minute bottle mid. The 600 gold bottle mid. I kind of meant to say there, but 6-minute bottle may not be the greatest. So, but yeah, things like that though. Yeah, you don't have to worry about other people using it essentially. So. You can constantly just ferry some regen to yourself. So yeah, that of course in itself is definitely a buff to junglers, especially who rely on that. So, well, we got the aggressive Pebbles though is down here. So,
not choosing to man up last game, but this game they feeling it. So, can do it. Not dueling mid, which I mean, I guess since they picked up the Wretched Hag, it's kind of. Matthias is playing it, but if they were to send Wretched Hag Suicide this game, I mean, that's kind of... Well, that hero is going to feed, because talk about one of the better heroes against Blink heroes. Gladiator, with that showdown, going to easily bring back Hag and get a kill every single time that's off cooldown, so...
Oh, yeah.
I think that might have been something to how they decided to lane as well.
Yeah, that's where if you're Wretched Hag, though, too, you got to be paying attention to that. If you see the showdown on you, you know, don't panic blink, or at least try not to.
Yeah. But if you don't, you're going to get caught by the pitfall.
True.
And into an Anderston.
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bloodhunter Ultimate. It's like, do I run or do I don't run?
Yeah.
Either way, you're pretty much screwed, so... Be a tough time. Yeah, Formless playing the carry Gladiator again. I do find it a little interesting that he does refuse to get like the Assassin Trail, the Rift Shard style, the really big damage potential. He builds it more as an actual just right-click carry, like Frostburn, Soulsborg, Demonic. Even I think he likes to get. So,
I mean, with the Assassin Shroud and Rift Shards, you really have no health items or armor items. So I mean, that might be something to that. And as well as it being just a purely RNG factored build. So I mean, going the items with like Frostburn, Salt Bulwark and everything, that's more consistent damage. You know what damage you're going to put out. And if you know what damage you're going to put out, you know what situations to fight in. So I think that's the reason. Like if you go Assassin Shroud and Rift Charge, I mean, some situations you're like, okay, if I'm lucky, we're going to win this team fight. But you don't know. And what if you don't crit? Then, you just lost the fight. So I think going something more like that is, you know what damage you're going to put out. And yeah, something like that is just more consistent.
It makes sense. It does. It's as a caster and a spectator, though, I'm sitting here like, man, I want to see these huge numbers. But no, I get I definitely get why Formless does prefer that style in the end on the Gladiator here. So
with their team makeup, though, if everything comes together, I don't think they need that Assassin Shroud crit damage. I mean, if everything lines up perfectly for them, they should be killing most of the Helborne heroes.
yeah. All right, Oscar reconnecting. Yeah, you do see Pharaoh, unfortunately, because of the DCs, all the way back here at the first tower even. So gonna miss out on a little bit of farm here against the solo Behemoth, a matchup that you figure Pharaoh could probably match up pretty well against. I would figure, pending lag.
Yeah, Behemoth usually not the strongest 1v1er, but he is in the short lane. But I don't know how. I think that's just gonna not make that much difference in the end.
Yeah.
Especially since there's no Parasite to help him out, at least for now. So I think Pharaoh should be able to come out a little bit ahead, since he has that Tormented Soul to help him last it and harass. But I expect it to be pretty even still. Just that Pharaoh should have a slight advantage, but maybe not with this disconnect right here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, there's that, unfortunately. All right, so we got Parasite moving around over here. He's going to run into Tempest. And we'll see what he does about this. It's a funky interaction, of course. Tempest did a pretty good job of addressing him with the elementals, even. With some damage into him. Parasite eventually is going to be forced to fall back right here, but yeah, this bottom lane, the sling is pushed out a little bit. Definitely a Gladiator and Andromeda will need to be careful.
Yeah, I agree. Parasite's gonna find the hard camper right here. Gonna jump into a Minotaur, but he's gonna choose to farm with it as he used the stun from the Minotaur. So no action gonna happen from that creep.
Yeah, they got a pretty aggressive ward over here from Insania too. In the jungle.
Yeah, that's to spot out Tempest movements if he decides to come into the lane. So.
Oh. And
they're gonna find Andromeda.
Yeah, she's caught. She's probably dead. Bloodlust kill coming out for Slapped right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. Something happened from the Minotaur. That's my mistake. But then now, if you look at his situation now, he has no hard camp. And is he gonna jump into that little creep? I mean, you see the consequences of him going for the gank in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the hard camp. It's only that small Gotar. He's gonna have to stack it now, right here. He lost out on about 40 seconds of farming.
Yeah.
Doing that, so.
Well, like you said, though, we did get the Bloodlust kill as well, though.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's where it's worth it, though, because it's the Bloodlust. But had the Bloodlust already happened, I would say that it's not worth it.
Well, so it works out there, and he actually gets a Catman champion, so the RNG actually worked out pretty well, too. For his favor right there. So, yeah, he's lapped off to a pretty good start. Who else is also off to a good start? Look at Pebbles having a great time here at the bottom lane. 350 gold per minute, pretty much. I mean, he doesn't have to deal with much.
No. I mean, Torture being the better harasser than Andromeda. I mean, Andromeda is kind of that support hero. He's actually in the top lane now. I just clicked on him, and whoa, he's in the top lane here, right here. Maybe some action coming out right here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it, and Behemoth had no clue, obviously. So all of a sudden, Andromeda's going to be there, but the stun hits both. And Pharaoh could not get the mummy wall up. That's huge.
He's faster, though.
Barely.
He might get in for the mummy range.
Yeah, it's still, God, it's like just out of range.
If Fuzzy Slot comes? Fuzzy
Nope.
Slot? Oh, okay, they're not going to go for it. Alright.
They run the whole way, only to come up short there.
Yeah.
So that's a missed opportunity because, yeah, Andromeda, Behemoth had no clue that Andromeda was up there, it seemed like. So really could have gotten a kill out of it, but comes up short, unfortunately.
Bottom lane, they're going to find the Gladiator, but I don't think they're going to kill him. No, just going to be fine. Ooh, you see what you got actually killing Slat's Catman. He didn't jump out of it in time, so...
Oh, wow.
And also going to kill him. Wow, okay, that's a lot of damage. 2 illusions and a lot of elementals, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge swing in goal. I mean, when you're playing Parasite, the worst thing that can happen to you is having your creep killed by someone else.
That completely throws off your momentum, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like such a big goal difference. That's like 80 gold and a lot of experience. Like,
yeah.
Just for the other player, just like that. Yeah. You can jump out of the creeps while being stunned too. So I mean, he had all the chances in the world to jump out of it. I mean, I think he would still die, but I mean, at least he would get the gold from that. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, Fuzzy Sloth, they're talking about in chat right there. He made a little bit of a misplay there, misjudged his mana pool, and he ultied, and unfortunately it didn't have a follow-up for a stun, so Hag just literally walked away before the stun even went off right there, and didn't matter in the end, so, or before the eruption
He
went
barely has enough for both of them right now.
off.
Yeah. Gonna need those steam boots.
Yeah, not the biggest deal in the sense that, you know, using your eruption this early on in the game, you're not necessarily going to be setting up big fights or kills with it, so, but still, missed opportunity. Andromeda top lane.
Yeah, again.
Probably picked up. Well, maybe not. Pharaoh's here to protect. Get the mummy wall up. He's going to use it right there. Now, it does put himself in a pretty bad spot, to be fair. So, this could even get worse as Wretched Hag comes in, and that's going to be a double tap for Matthias. Yeah, that was definitely a case in the end of Oscar would have been better off letting Love just die right there.
Yeah. I mean, hindsight, of course. But, yeah. They kind of like each other, so obviously they want to save each other, so... I mean, but Hag coming in there, they did not expect that. They don't have any ward in the top river, and I mean, I guess Magnus should have called it or did call it, but maybe they didn't react in time, so
Wow.
that made a difference.
Torture just melted right there. Good combination coming out as Pitfall Showdown, of course, from Gladiator, so they find him by himself.
It's the power of Gladiator. Finds a hero. Showdown into Pitfall. That hero is pretty much dead. Every single time.
Yeah. Especially if he uses ulti.
Yeah.
He needs to.
Does not have it yet. But he's only level 5, but he's gonna get it momentarily. He's not getting the most creep kills though. I mean, Pebbles sitting at 45 and 12 versus at 21 and 1. So, I mean, it's understandable. He doesn't have Android on here. So.
Yeah, you do got Gladiator again, yeah, under 200 gold per minute, so definitely going to look for him to recover. I'm sure it's complexity, just a matter of time, though. When they figure that is going to happen, I mean, Pebbles, he's looking for a kill opportunity. Doesn't have a portal key yet, though, or anything, so.
He's going to toss Torture.
Is he? No.
Or not. No. They're going for Tempest. They had another thought there.
Oh, ulti? Oh, he is trying to bait out the ulti even, but there we go. The Elemental Void actually does catch him. Here comes Andromeda with the Comet Stun. Parasite is coming, but he gets encountered by Magnus, actually. Magnus is dropping. Magnus stuns in the last second. He's going to be fine. Tempest did go down, but now Wretched actually is looking to maybe get some cleanup here. Bat Blast in the face of Andromeda. Takes a Comet Stun. Magnus still hanging around. He has another stun up. He has a Stun Eruption combo, actually. If he can catch maybe the Hag right here, but no, she's a little too far. Going to pick up the refreshment room. Parasite, he still wants to make a play. Hag's using the bottle charges. This is risky, though, if she goes in. There's the stun on a Parasite. He's now in a lot of trouble. Hag's like, I want to, but I don't want to. And she'll blink away. So, yeah, that works out for complexity in the end, definitely.
Yeah. That last part there definitely made the whole exchange even, but that Pebbles toss, though, that was huge. Into the sonar screen from Hag. Yeah, it's pretty good. Seems like Mickey always doing like the next level tosses.
Yeah.
Every time I see him play Pebbles, he always does that hero just flew 1,000 range into a very good setup somewhere else. I mean, they have it all planned out. Every time he plays Pebbles, I'm really impressed every single time I see him play it. So.
Yeah. Like I like to call it the poor man's portal key, and he definitely is a big advocate of it. You do see bottom tower, by the way, gets denied. Jeez, already down about 9 minutes, the short lane tower for complexity, but at least it was denied.
Yeah. At least it was denied. They're going to go bottom lane, though.
Yep, it was a trap, though. For Pharaoh, though, he actually misses the ultimate. He did dodge the fissure stun. Here comes a call to arms. That's going to be a big placement. Does he have the damage follow-up? Parasite running in, but so is Tempest. But now the whole team is here from X-Sync. Wretched Hag, she gets chucked in. Speaking of the poor man's portal key, doing the combo right there. Gets the 1 on Pharaoh, gets the 2 on Tempest. And the rest are going to fall back in Gladiator and Magnus. So Gladiator, yeah, he landed a nice combo, but he didn't really have damage follow-up at all initially.
That was so close. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That was so close to Behemoth pulling off a 3-man shockwave without a portal key right there. He got stunned by Tempest, and twice he was trying to walk into range, and every time he got into range, he got that Glacial Blast stun 2 times.
Yeah.
So that was a bit like painful to watch. Magma's mid though.
Oh man, that's a big eruption from Fuzzy Sloth, but he couldn't kill Behemoth as well, and he's gonna fall in response. Oh, it was almost a big one, I should say.
Yeah, that was really close.
Meanwhile, what? Tempest goes in, he pops the Astrolabe, but he did not realize how many was here. And Complexity throwing themselves at X-Sync all of a sudden. And they lose 2 more, so X-Sync is, look at the lead. I mean, 4,500 gold, nearly 5,000 experience lead, just like that.
Yeah, they're gonna take the mid tower as well. There's no heroes alive to be able to defend that. So that's even a bigger lead now, or a bigger snowball effect coming out for them. Andrew's coming in, but not gonna be able to do much with that.
Well,
I mean, Pebbles is really close to the portal key. That's a pretty good timing for his build-up items. So.
yeah.
Same with Behemoth. He's actually pretty much equal. I think they're gonna get it around the same time.
Let's see that. That's going to be huge for the Helborne team, really. Having not only the 1, but the 2 all of a sudden. And again, a makeup that's already, the idea is there to be very aggressive, and they definitely have been. So Complexity definitely has a lot of work cut out for them. I mean, they really need to let this or more so the Gladiator recover here, who has had a really atrocious start. I mean, he's now only 230 gold per minute. He has the Ghost Marchers, and that's basically it here as far as his farm goes. I mean, he's 1-0-3, so that's the only reason why he's farming 240 gold per minute. If it wasn't for these kills and assists, you know, he'd even be worse. So
Yeah.
they're finding him room, though.
Yeah. Sync is gonna push up the top lane right here, and that's gonna give the portal key to both Behemoth and Pebbles, unless they want to defend, of course. But I don't think they're in the position to defend. I mean, Gladiator has no TP. He just got one from the Courier. I couldn't see that being delivered.
All right.
But so yeah, they're picking up a couple of portals here. But are they gonna defend top though? I don't know. If they don't, that's gonna give a lot of blinks to the Helborne team. Behemoth already picking up his. So
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And now Mickey's going to go get his.
yeah. I mean, this is the point where you don't want to play against Sync. Mickey with Pebbles portal key. I mean, that's always dangerous.
It's very scary times ahead for Complexity, no doubt. That on top of Behemoth again, just getting hits. You got a puzzle box on Parasite. I mean, so many things have just come together right here for X-Sync, and these next couple of minutes are very crucial with that said. I mean, if Complexity manages to not get killed, especially on the hero like Gladiator and, you know, really everyone but maybe Andromeda, then they might actually be able to be okay, but this is definitely a huge opportunity for X-Sync to really snowball ahead at the same time. Meanwhile, middle lane, they can't really go for Parasite, though. They're actually going to go up here on the Torturer. Happen to be nearby, and he goes down. Now Parasite going to be the attention there, but the call to arms, it does catch Pebbles, but it's right into the bait of Behemoth. Again, they didn't realize he had a portal key, the Shockwave initiation. The follow-up, the Elemental Void does come out, though, but the damage was not there. In fact, Matthias essentially used it for an ultimate himself. He cleans up. They're going to take out Pharaoh, and it's going to be an absolute genocide, a hat trick for Matthias here. X-Sync. That's exactly what I was pretty much talking about there. Now things are really deadly.
Blink. Beautiful blink from Matthias there. Perfect positioning. I mean, he blinked behind Tempest and used the ulti. I mean, I think I would guess like a lot of players would have done it different, but I mean that was just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, both teams having some really, you know, 4-man Shockwave from Behemoth and then into 4-man Tempest Hole or something like that, maybe 3. You know, both teams having like, oh, that's a big play, but I mean, in the end, Sync had more big plays to deliver, so that's why they won.
And X-Sync, you know, again, you saw a chat initially right there. It's we don't know 100%, but it seems like that things may be changing after this cycle for this team, but the end is not here just yet. They're down 1-0, but very, very likely going to at least be forcing a third game right here against Complexity, pending Complexity just going off the charts here and somehow finding room all of a sudden, but I don't think that's, I mean, the X-Sync, they would need to completely let off, which is clearly not happening right now. They're still pushing the issue, as you see bottom lane here, keeping it going, so.
Which they should. They could take Conger, though, but they don't have the most Conger damage, necessarily. They're just going to, like, say, like, they're just going to forget about Conger and just go bottom instead with this early lead. I mean, they're feeling it, too. I mean, that's why they're even grouping up this much.
Yeah. See bottom secondary tower, going to be an easy kill. Obviously, if you're complexity here, you're not really comfortable yet to be picking fights, especially without an Elemental Void, especially without a Portal Key on Magnus. But apparently, Pharaoh was too close.
Oh.
As Pebbles goes in with the Portal Key and just chucks him in.
Yeah, he was too close, but I mean, he was standing pretty far back still. But I mean, the toss from Pebbles into the Minotaur stun, it's like, yeah. I mean, you don't really expect that, but I mean, maybe you should with a player like Mickey.
True.
So good.
Yeah, they make it look so easy, but it really isn't.
Yeah,
I mean, that's coordination.
Yeah.
So well played there, and you see top lane Formless goes down. He went the Helm of the Black Legion, by the way, so it just so happens to see that item back-to-back games here. It's a very rare item, but it's still not enough there either.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That item on Gladiator, though, that's going back to the MSI days with Trixie. I think he used to pick that up every single time.
Oh, yeah.
On Gladiator. I mean, I don't know about now, because now there's more heroes and different meta and everything, so I don't know.
I mean, for me, Helm's always been an item that it's good on heroes that don't necessarily need damage enhancement, at least earlier on in the game. You know, Drunken Master is actually a hero lately we've seen picking it up, and you know, his skill set allows him to still do plenty of damage, and Helm, he just even allows him to stand in fights a lot more, you know, earlier on in the game. So Gladiator, though, yeah, he's kind of like that, I guess, but not really. I don't know.
I mean, recently we've seen a lot of Gladiators mid, and they build, you know, Astrolabe tablet and stuff, so I mean, people definitely make it work, but seeing as they have him in the carry slots, I don't know about the Helm. I mean, like if you look from the positives of it, I mean, the only thing that's going to bring you is like health, like the actual Helm effects, like the auto attacking. That's not going to come from this Helborne team. They're all about spell damage. I mean, maybe Pebbles, but yeah, I think a Mighty Blade and like a Vestments would have mitigated even more, maybe.
Yeah.
Than just straight up Helm in this particular game.
Well, Veiled Rot coming out from Behemoth up here at the own jungle, actually. Wretched Hag going to catch Magnus initially, but not much lockdown she can do. Of course, Behemoth he fissures, he blocks Magnus. He prevents the TP, and now Magnus in a tight spot. Now he's kind of hidden still. He has a stun in 1 second. So they're having trouble getting to him. He's going to just chill for now. I don't think they actually saw him. Wow. He's going to survive. His TP gets canceled, and he ends up surviving in the end.
Yeah,
As he stuns
I mean,
away.
they didn't have vision. They go and kill Kongor, though.
All right.
So,
Well, I guess that's fine then.
yeah, they're leading with 14k now. They can basically do whatever they want. This is their playground right now. Hag picking up the Grimoire, so definitely can one-shot almost any target he finds. Yeah.
What about the Grimoire on Wretched Hag? I mean, do you like that as far as a traditional pickup here on a Hag?
Yeah, I mean, it offers a lot of damage, a lot of farming capability, and a lot of mana and stuff like that. I like it. I mean, I am personally a fan of Grimoire on Hag. I mean,
Okay.
I don't like any other item first. I mean, maybe Shrunken, but I mean, Hag is always that hero. Like, you only need to use your spells, right? I mean, you don't really auto-attack until you get the Hellflower and stuff. So I definitely like Grimoire.
Top lane. Seems like Complexity wants to try to make something happen up here, but not finding anything, unfortunately. In fact, they will find a wizard, a puzzle box wizard that is coming over. That's going to scare them off, actually. So when you're down 15,000 gold this early on, and you're just moving as a team like this, it's just not. Your chances of success is going to be so low. You're at a point where I feel like you just have to kind of spread out, take some risks here, but obviously that's not necessarily the greatest, the smartest thing either. As the timing there of the pitfall was pretty damn good. It probably wouldn't have mattered, but oh no, the real Hag actually is here.
Yeah.
Couldn't get in though.
Yeah. Gladiator has Vestment now. I think they would have been able to kill him, but I think that would have required all of their spells.
Mm-hmm.
You see Pebbles picking up an Ice Brand, not a usual item on Pebbles.
Wow, that's different.
I have never seen that. Yeah, I have never seen that.
Huh. Is he going to make that into a straight Frost of Skull even, or is he actually...
Yeah, I mean, you would think that, because if he went Dawnbringer, I mean, Lightbrand and Firebrand is both better than Icebrand, especially on Pebbles. I mean, sometimes you would pick up Icebrand if you're going Dawnbringer, like, just for the health. But, I don't know, they're already snowballing, and they've survived till now. He's only died once, so I don't see why he would pick that up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is the Frost of Skull, but then again, like, when do you ever see Frost of Skull on Pebbles? So, he usually goes to Shrunken, and especially in this game, I mean, there's a lot of spells to block out here. So, I don't know, maybe they're just feeling the lead.
Well,
and he's...
Yeah. I mean, you did bring up the point earlier that Wretched Hag is, obviously she is a carry hero for sure, but she's definitely not a right-click physical presence necessarily. She's more of the spell damage, the magic carry throughout, and this is maybe them trying to make Pebbles more of that physical carry. I mean, but Icebrand is still, it's an odd item to do that with. So yeah, that logic doesn't necessarily fit. I mean,
Pebbles naturally has a lot of physical damage though with his right clicks. But I would say even if you wanted to build right clicks, I mean, Demonic is probably still the better damage option, even in Sanitarius or something like that. So, I don't know.
All right, well, they haven't gotten a kill in feels like at least 3 or 4 minutes here, which is pretty good news for Complexity actually. But at the same time, you look at the GPM charts, everyone is out farming everyone on Complexity side, other than Torture, of course, but.
That's because they have the whole map to play with. I mean, they're farming all the lanes, and not both jungles for the time being, but they were before, just a couple of minutes ago. Yeah. So, I mean, they have all the map, both the Ancients and everything. As you see, Behemoth is going to go in for the double stack. They're even going to stack the opposing teams, the Ancients. That's how much map control they have right now.
Oh, that's great.
So, I mean, sure, it's great for Complexity not to die, but, I mean, you see, I mean, they're just farming everywhere. And it's just going to come to a point where it's just too hard to handle. They're just going to pick up on so many items and so many levels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're already up 18k, so I mean, it's already enough to go and push. But I mean, if you really want to win, there's no reason to go and push, even if you have this kind of lead. So, I mean...
Yeah, I don't want to be too reckless with it. They are down 1-0 in the series here. The last thing you want to do is obviously throw this massive lead that you do have, so...
that would knock them out as well, so I mean, that's another thing. Maybe if this was in the winners bracket, maybe they would be a bit more reckless, but seeing as they are in the losers bracket, I mean, I think they're playing a bit more passive now.
Yeah. Well, 23 minutes in right here, I mean, it's really just a case of a fight's eventually going to take place here, at least if you're Complexity, that's what you're hoping for, that you're able to get the initiation. I mean, when it comes to team fight, again, they do have the great synergy here. But honestly, so does the Helborne team to an extent. I mean, the Hag and Behemoth alone, and Behemoth is fantastic at counter initiation, of course. So it is such a tough task here to ask for Complexity to actually make something happen in this game that is relevant. But right now, it'll just continue to be. This is Sync's game to lose by a lot. But again, in the back of the mind for Complexity, they do at least have a Game 3 to look forward to. Absolute worst case scenario. Which it seems like could very likely be that, in fact. But Parasite saying hello.
I mean, it's looking very grim for this Legion team. I mean, I think even if they line up everything perfectly at this point, which... seems to me to be impossible, especially without the Tempest Portal Key. He's going some other items, which I'm not saying is wrong, but I'm saying if they want the dream team fight, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with the items they have right now. It's just looking very grim. They don't really have a damage item. I mean, they have 2 Helmut Black Legions. It's now Gladiator is going Shrunken as well, which is definitely good, but he's not going to be right-clicking that much.
That's my issue, too. When we first saw the helm, it's like all right, but... there's a point, though, in a game, as we'll finish up Fuzzy Sloth, and, as I'm just about to get to, where you have to just go risk, man. Like, you're at a point where clearly the early game you got dominated. This Gladiator, in my opinion, should have just gone for a very, very greedy build. Like, he should have gone that Rune Cleaver, or even like an Alkbones, or just something to just try to have him help recover and farm and have a chance, but... going this very, very combat-heavy, not really a lot of farm assistant build. And now you mentioned the Shrunken Head that he's getting. It's like he's barely 300 gold per minute, which is a lot less than 3 of the heroes, even 4 heroes really, on this Helborne side, and it's not going to rapidly go up just magically. So, yeah, I don't know what the ultimate goal is here for complexity. Well, I'm sure it's to win, but
in this particular game and situations, I mean, I would definitely like to see him try to build into the Shroud Rift Charge, because it's kind of at the point. I mean, you're down so much. You just gotta have something. I mean, you're waiting for luck. You're waiting for Sync to make a mistake and then just kill them off of that and snowball. I mean, why not add to that thing where you go those items and then you hope for luck.
Yeah.
And then you might get lucky. I mean, because I think this build, as far as I think that is correct. I mean, Helm adds health, Shrunken adds magic immunity, but I just think like those items are good, but I don't think they're gonna like win you the game at this point and situation. I mean, they're down 20k gold in experience, basically hugging each other except for Tempest. They're staying really close to each other. It's really hurting them. I mean, 6 minutes ago, I mean, Sync has been growing like a 7k extra gold lead, and I mean, if you go 6 minutes further from now, I mean, there's going to be another 7k or so.
Yeah.
Just because they're farming the whole map.
Yeah, there's been very little action as far as kills gone. Exactly. It's just they're controlling the whole map, and complexity just doing a lot of sitting in the pace, really. And maybe pushing. I mean, that was the first they pitched on WoW, as we saw here at the top lane. And we did see Magnus. Magnus is the one hero that can kind of be a little mobile here, but even then we saw him got picked off as he got a little too far in the end. So you look at Pebbles, by the way, Frostburn, he ends up finishing. So he just went the Icebrand first in the end.
Yeah.
Going a little bit different here. Yeah, Icebrand, though, it's just one of those items. To see it by itself is always just kind of a funky thing, but makes more sense now. And the eventual Dawnbringer, I'm sure, is going to be happening here. That'll be good for him to have.
I mean, him going these items, though, it kind of opens up a little bit of hope for complexity, seeing as if he had a Shrunken, I mean, then they wouldn't be able to do much, because their team is also a lot of spell damage, and if he has the Shrunken Head, they won't really matter unless they initiate on him before he gets that off.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the Frostburn, they know that they can use the Pharaoh ulti, trap him in the mummies, and have him locked down with a Hellfire where he can't auto attack. Whereas if he had the Shrunken, that wouldn't be possible. So I mean, but I still think that's not going to be enough, though, considering the other heroes are so farmed as well. So there's always a little bit of things there.
Well, we're in that spot now. It's just, you know, we are picking on complexity a little bit as far as, you know, what they really just can't do a lot, and they're still kind of playing a very safe and passive game. But to be fair, X-Sync, too, I mean, maybe they shouldn't necessarily, they don't have to be actually pushing to the base, but maybe even doing a Kongor attempt here. It's actually torture, yeah, is found. Well, there's something there for complexity. That's got to at least feel somewhat good. It's middle lane. Oh, yeah, Pebble's going to go in, but this is going to be a response here. There's a swap out, puts the Kama stun. Behemoth, meanwhile, stuns in with the Shockwave, but Eruption goes off from Magnus and is able to catch Pebbles and do some good damage. Behemoth goes down. The God of Arms, it does take out Pebbles as well. Another buff is on. You look at Gladiator. He is very tanky, especially with that Call to Arms buff. However, Hag is still able to finish off. I believe that was Andromeda there in the end. So it's a 2 for 3, though. I mean, complexity actually technically came out on top there.
Yeah, they swing back the gold lead, or gold, what's the opposite of lead? I don't know.
Being behind, I guess.
Yeah, being behind the gold...
deficit.
Yeah, the gold deficit, they swing that back by 1k. So, I mean, it was a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, Pebbles right there, as I was talking about, he got trapped in the mummies with the Hellfire. He wasn't able to auto-attack and lost a lot of life in the process.
Yeah.
If he had the Shrunken instead of the Frostburn, I mean, I think they would have killed more heroes, as the Helborne team, that is. And that would have been different, but hey, goes Dawnbringer.
Yep, has that now. Gonna pour, wow, immediate, a massive TP somewhere. They're going down, okay, they're going to the middle and the bottom here, so I wonder if they are gonna maybe try for that Kongor coming up
Legion
right here.
wants to kill Hag here, though. So Behemoth is behind.
Uh-oh. Behemoth doesn't have Shockwave, though. So, they don't have to worry about that
true.
at least.
Yeah. They should be able to kill Hag with that mag.
Oh, she just blinked in very aggressively right there. Now she has that shrunken there. She's going to hold her ground. Here comes Tempest, though. Elemental Void, but nope. Going to be stopped by Behemoth. Here comes a call to arms. Unfortunately, a little bit late. Did hit. Behemoth gives him the buff, of course. Pebbles jumped in. Ended up going into a bad spot right there. As Wretched in the background still cleaning up. But is able to take out Tempest. And you see right there, Magnus goes down. Gladiator now all of a sudden by himself. And he, too, is going to follow suit. So, pretty ugly fight. As, Andromeda managed to save Gladiator for now. And actually going to keep him alive in the end, yeah. So Gladiator will survive when it's all said and done. You look at that, he buys Rift Shards, actually. So, okay, that's a little more like it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the RNG here. Hoping for the best. Well, they're finally pushing, though, now, it looks like.
Yeah, finally. Although Conqueror's up, so, I mean, what were they waiting for if they weren't waiting for Conqueror?
Yeah.
That's my... Did they even kill Conqueror this game? Yeah, they did once. So I guess, yeah, I mean, I think they should take Conqueror, which is what I think they will do before they push. So playing it really safe right here. I mean, Magnus was down for another 10 seconds. But probably eyeballed it so they wouldn't be able to take the racks. So, yeah. Just gonna go back. It's more safe, and I think they will take Conqueror. Legion does have a ward, so if they go in, they will know. Just right next to the Conqueror pit there. I wonder how he got there. I mean, it seems like a long way to run for being down 20k.
Yeah, the support managed to actually get all the way out there. Yeah, it was placed by Andromeda, but yeah, good job. However he did it, he was able to get that down at least. Maybe I'm sure maybe the Veiled even is possibly used to sneak in there. So you do see the Rift Shard is now level 2 on Gladiator. So they are adding up here at least.
I mean, now it's getting to a point where if they are really lucky and have the dream scenario set up, I mean, they can win a fight. I mean, Gladiator crits right now about 700 or 600, 700, something around there. And if you add a Magnus ulti on top of that, I mean, some heroes should die, right?
Oh, that was, the pitfall was a little too early right there. And Pharaoh was just out of range. They had a chance to maybe drop Pebbles quickly, but unfortunately they come up short, and now we see the response. Tempest and Andromeda get picked off. Pebbles, he tries to catch Gladiator, but just out of range of the stalagmites there. So you gotta connect on those if you're Complexity. I mean, you're already so far behind. Cannot be getting mistakes like that. But unfortunately they do, and the lead now upwards of 30,000 golden experience. Here comes that Conqueror kill.
Yeah. This is what they need. Or, I mean, I don't think they need it, but this is what they need to secure the game. It's more Sheepstick and Hag now as well just being delivered there.
Yeah, this is at least this should be for X-Sync exactly okay, now we can actually finish this game here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just that they've been in this lead for, a good 20 minutes almost, and still haven't gotten any racks. It's just like, that just screams being very passive to me. But at the same time, they did a really good job farming the entire map almost. So
yeah.
That's why they've even increased the lead so much. I mean, 28k right now in gold. So there's that too. I mean,
Complexity really is falling back on this Gladiator, though, of getting that lucky RNG here of a massive crit. There's a 600 right there, so as you're pointing out, I mean, but so even if he does get a big crit, you look at the life pool here of the Helborne side, it's not going to do a whole lot to most. I mean, obviously Torture and maybe Behemoth, in a certain extent, could feel it, but honestly, the others, not so much, so.
Just alone from the crit they won't really drop. But imagine, Pitfall, Gladiator ulti, and Magnus ulti on top of that.
Yeah.
Everything combined, I mean, I think they should be able to kill a few heroes.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's definitely, and that's what they need, obviously. So they have to have everything actually line up.
Top lane. They canceled. They found Magnus again in the woods, and they canceled the TP.
This time they're actually going to kill him too. There we go.
Yeah.
Good fun.
I mean, I don't think Keizu sees him. That's the second time he's interrupted TPs. in the trees. I mean, I don't think he sees him. I mean, they have no vision spell, I guess.
Simply
So,
good
really
heads
well
up.
played.
Meanwhile, middle lane, by the way, Pebbles, he got jumped right there. Tempest goes down first, though. Pebbles actually lives throughout all of it. And Immortal Kids before Andromeda can kill him. Yeah, they got the big jump on Pebbles right there. And the fact they couldn't even kill him, I mean, I think now Complexity is going to be, yeah, that's... Now it's enough. They say chi-chi, and the game officially is going to be over here. So, yeah, to be fair, X-Sync, again, they did play very safe themselves, so a lot of the reasons why that game was so drawn out was maybe because of that, too. But, again, you can't blame them by any means. They're here to guarantee that third game, and that's exactly what they did right there with their safe play. But the beginning of the game is where they won that, of course. I mean, they turned it on, and Complexity just could not handle the heat from the get-go. Yep. So, I mean, really, is there much else to say there?
No, I think that's everything there is to say. I mean, there's not much else. The game was very stale. It was even that stale for a long time. I even forgot how they got into the lead. Early there, you know, it was so much farming for 20 minutes or something. I forgot what happened in the beginning. I mean, it's the safe play to make, and they did it, and they won. So.
There you go. They somehow got there, and they won it in the end. So, no, but congratulations to X-Sync. Obviously feeling good about that one. But, again, that means now we have that third and final game at least. So, going to reset things here, do a new draft, of course, and see what happens here in the third and final game between Complexity and X-Sync. Definitely should be a good finish here, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to miss it. Our losers bracket finals here from Cycle 2 of Season 4 of On Tour. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.